The Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons features trailer is now out. It's going to give a better idea of what the expansion has in store for us. And I'm going to analyze the trailer and the features and the narrative that we can expect. So let's just get straight into it, and I'll stop the video when I want to comment on something. So right off the bat, you have this fisherman on the right. They have this kind of older style look to them. And then you have this new technology and the airship, and there's explosions. So it's going to be a distinction between the old over here and the new. That's going to be probably a big theme, is that culture shock between old and new, because Cantha has been shut off from the rest of the world for a long time. So it's going to be interesting how the two cultures are going to interact with each other.
Ambassador's dispatch. Queen's eyes only. The Empire of Cantha is not what we remember. They are the most powerful nation on Tyria, thanks to their Jade tech. And they don't trust us. We have to show them that we're on their side.
So that's a pretty good open to the narrative. It identifies what all of the key characters are: the ambassador, Casimir, the queen of the Canthan Empire, and it talks about the Jade tech and that they are the most powerful nation, even though we hadn't really contacted them in a really long time. So it lays out the characters and the conflict. It's going to be a very political conflict, you can tell, because it's getting into politics of the queen and, empires. And another theme that you're going to see is, because of their Jade technology, you can see here this huge, it's like a drill, it looks like. This is something that they mined out of the waters of the Jade Sea, which is basically an ocean that turned into jade. And they're using that to essentially power their cities. So you're going to see a theme of industry versus nature, because obviously drilling out these huge chunks of the ocean is probably not good for the environment. So you're going to probably see that theme of industry versus nature a lot in the story. The masteries there, not too interesting. The Jade Bot looks just like some helper thing for maybe open world content, just to make it easier for people to, it's like an easy mode, I guess. And then you have these, it says dynamic ways to travel, but it looks like it's just a zip line, right? So that's maybe, I mean, if you compare that to mounts were so free, you could go anywhere with them, and you had a lot more, you had a lot more freedom with mounts. This looks like it's very constrained, and you're only going to be going where the developers intend you to go, and it's only going to be in places that are in the new expansion, whereas mounts, you could kind of bring them anywhere, even to the old core Tyria. So I don't know if this is going to be too amazing of a feature here. So that last scene that they showed was the Echovale Forest, one of my favorite places in Guild Wars 1, so I'm excited to go back to that. This actually, I think, is the Luxon zone, which is very different from what it looked like in Guild Wars 1. You don't really need to know that, but essentially what is really important about the scene is, if you look at the architecture, which is in contrast to the trees over here. There's a comparison, but also a contrast, because the trees are very tall looking, and then you see these buildings are also very tall, and even the buildings are kind of towering over the trees. So you could kind of think of it as they can coexist, or if the industry or the architecture is going to be, harming nature or getting in the way of nature. So it's that industry versus nature theme again. So that's going to be another one of the conflicts.
The Aether Blades are back. Now they're planning something big in Cantha. If we don't stop them, they'll plunge Tyria into war.
The Aether Blades have always been seen as morally bad. Basically, they're just sky pirates. And I'd like to see with the story, perhaps they're looking at Mai Trin right now. Maybe the story of Mai Trin can be more fleshed out and give it some more nuance, and maybe they're not as bad or clearly bad as we once thought they were. So that could be interesting if they go into that.
Everything Dragon's Watch has fought for. It all comes down to this. The secrets of Cantha. The secrets of the dragons. We have to uncover them all. Before it's too late.
Okay, hold up. What was that? The future is now. The future is now, and they show this rip. It looks like a rip in time. Is that time travel? I really hope that isn't time travel, because time travel it's a can of worms. You don't want to open that can of worms, because then yeah, I think it's a serious drop in quality in the story. So if that's time travel, I am not going to be too excited, but maybe it's something else. I really hope it's not time travel. So there you go. The expansion date is February 28th. I will be playing it regardless, and I hope you guys will join me. If you want to buy End of Dragons, you can check out the links in the description. Also, check out this HyperX mouse. It's very lightweight, and this HyperX headset, which was given to me for the End of Dragons release. With that being said, though, I will see you all next time.